This is Matt from Reaction Brewing Company. Brewing a blonde ale today. Gonna grind up 18 pounds of grains.
And this is what happens when you say, hey, this is way easier than doing it by hand and the drill dries 30 seconds later.
Gonna mash at an hour at 150 degrees.
Got the mash recirculating, holding within about 1 degree. To crack that valve back just a little bit, 3-way on the outlet. So we'll start our timer. We'll be back in about an hour. About halfway through the mash, still holding right about within 1 degree each way. It's been going pretty good, staying pretty level.
Alright, we're done with our mash. We're gonna go ahead and turn our pump off. Turn our element off. Go ahead and shut our valve so we don't end up with a mess here. I'm going to go ahead and move this guy down to the bottom of the pot. It's really hot. I'm going to try not to drop our gasket. Okay, now we got that tightened up. We're going to go ahead and raise our pot and let that drain out for a little bit.
That's about it. Just let that go up, no touch the brake. So then what are you going to do?
We're going to go ahead and hold the set button here.
Up arrow. Turn that to 100%. Then we'll turn it back on. We'll open our valves before we turn the pump on.
Yeah, turn the pump on.
And we'll turn the pump back on just while we're heating up. So we'll be back. Gonna push what we can out of that. We'll be back to show him trying to put that in a garbage can.
Alright, so the last time we brewed, we talked about how much it sucks getting this big, heavy, wet grain bin out. And we talked about putting the chain up top on the rafters to make it easier, but as you can see, we didn't do it. And this time he's going to make me struggle so he can laugh while I try to get this big, heavy thing out of here. So,
oh, look how smooth that went.
Here we go. Well, it was going smooth.
Oh, like a glove.
Man, that wasn't bad at all.
So we're heating up. We're at 162. Just whirlpooling while we heat up. Just make sure everything goes through and heats up a little more even. So we'll be back for the first hop edition.
Okay, we're going to turn our controller down to 80%. We've got a nice full rolling boil. One too far.
Get you every time.
Oh man, she goes fast right when you're almost there.
That's what she said.
Oh yeah, there we go, that's nice. And we're going to go ahead and drop in a ½ ounce of Centennial hops right into our hop spider.
So we'll be back, I think, a half an hour. I should probably look at the recipe to add another ½ ounce. So we'll be back for that.
Okay, we're going to put in another ½ ounce of Centennial hops, and then we'll be back in 20 minutes for a 15-minute Cascade.
Boil's rolling along pretty hard. Got her at 80% right now. Air density is down a little bit here today. We're up boiling right around 211 instead of the usual 209. So we'll be back 15 minutes.
Okay, we're going to put in ½ ounce of Cascade. We're going to boil for 20 minutes.
15.
15 minutes. Like I said, 15 minutes. And then we're going to be back with 5 minutes left in the boil to add the last ½ ounce of Cascade hops. Was and I'm still way up. So what am I doing now?
½ ounce of Cascade for 5 minutes.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Gonna add that last ½ ounce of Cascade and boil for 5 more minutes.
We're also gonna switch over to the heat exchanger, start sterilizing that, and we'll be back once everything's done and sterilized. 5 minutes addition.
We're gonna go ahead and turn our heating element off. We're going to leave our pump on, and we're going to turn our cooling water on and start cooling the batch.
It's over there. It's right there.
It's this valve right here. In case you only brew once or once a year, it's right there in case you didn't know.
So we're going to start going through the heat exchanger. Lift this guy up some. Going to start going through the heat exchanger. Cool it down to about 62 degrees. Whirlpool this to try to get all the trub in the center, and we will be back when we're down to pitch the yeast. Alright,
we're going to go ahead and shut our pump off. Going to shut our water off. Go ahead and shut both of our valves. And we're going to remove this hose here to drain into our carboy. Going to drip a little bit onto our refractometer, see what our spec gravity is.
take that close clamp off. About 1.38 on our original gravity. We're shooting for 1.39, so right about there. That's good. Up. Open that valve.
Our valve.
Turn our pump back on. And we'll start filling this. We'll get about 5.25 gallons, 5.5 gallons in this one. And we'll transfer this one. We'll be back when we do the oxygen, the yeast, and the Clarity Firm.
Okay, we're going to put 3 mils of Clarity Firm in each one, and then we're going to go ahead and oxygenate this for 60 seconds. Just going to try to turn this on enough just to see the oxygen flowing. See movement. I think that's enough.
Takes a little bit. Turn it a little bit more. I don't see anything yet. Well, maybe our oxygen's empty. Oh, there we go. So there we go. You can see she's bubbling now. So 60 seconds in each one. We'll be back to put the yeast in. So we're going to add our yeast. We got a little baby yeast starter for this.
I'll put about 450 mils in each one.
It's going to spill some of it.
Just a little.
Put 400 in each one and spill 100 on the side of each one.
That happens.
It does.
Try to keep the stir bar in there.
There's no stir bar in this one.
Even better yet.
Good enough.
There we go.
So put the other half in this one.
Make sure I spill an equal amount.
Yeah, spill a little bit out of each one. So these guys will go over with some t-shirts next to the IPA. And we'll be back in a little bit for the next brew.